leading up to a shooting inside a South Side barbershop. Police say all of this stemmed from an ongoing dispute between two women who had dated the same person.
Prosecutors say the suspect committed the crime and video evidence proves it.
It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another video. In this episode of Hood Tales, let's take it to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to discuss the case of a 2-year feud over dating the same woman that ended fatally at a barbershop. But before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future uploads. Stay tuned until the end to hear the whole story. Everything in this video is alleged. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Rayon Williams was a light in every room she walked into. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, she discovered her passion early: basketball. At just 9 years old, she picked up a basketball for the first time and never looked back. By the time she reached Mid-Atlantic High School, Rayon had become both an academic standout and an incredible athlete, known not just for her skills on the court, but for her leadership, her discipline, and her heart. In 2017, she reached one of her biggest dreams, attending the University of Pittsburgh and playing collegiate basketball. Her teammates described her as the person who worked the hardest, encouraged the most, and gave everything she had, whether it was drills, strength training, or game day. And she did all of this while maintaining a 3.2 GPA. Rayon wasn't just an athlete, she was an achiever. She earned her Associates of Arts degree in physical education and hoped to continue her education, possibly even earning a master's. She dreamed of the WNBA or playing overseas, and if she couldn't be on the court, she wanted to coach, to guide the next generation the same way others once guided her. Outside of sports, Rayon was creative. She launched One of One clothing in 2023, a brand that reflected her unique taste and confidence. She had a passion for programming, technology, learning, growing, becoming better every single day. And she cared for people deeply. As a home care worker, she changed lives through compassion. Later, she became a manager at Hibbett Sports, where she led with professionalism and heart. Rayon lived by one quote: "You miss 100% of the shots you never take." And every day, she proved it. Mayera Carter also had a background rooted in athletics. Born March 25, 2000 in Pittsburgh, she grew up with 8 siblings and excelled in sports from an early age. At East Allegheny High School, she helped guide the Wildcats to back-to-back section championships and received the Senior Athlete Award. After graduating, she played for the University of Pittsburgh Greensburg from 2018 to 2020 and planned to major in criminal justice. On the surface, both young women had promising futures: 2 athletes, 2 leaders, 2 competitors in their own ways. But behind the scenes, a dispute had been building between them for years, and eventually it would erupt. The tension between Rayon and Mayera didn't begin overnight. According to court records, the feud dated back to 2023, and it started over 2 things: a woman they were both romantically involved with, and a firearm that Mayera claims Rayon took from her. This wasn't a single disagreement or a one-time argument. It was animosity that was ongoing and growing. 2 years of friction, 2 years of unresolved emotions, and 2 years of tension waiting for the wrong moment. They crossed paths multiple times, and each encounter only seemed to add fuel to a fire neither one of them could put out. And whether it was hurt feelings, betrayal, pride, or unresolved resentment, this was the kind of long-standing dispute that slowly chips away at judgment. By early October 2025, both women were living their separate lives, but the past hadn't loosened its grip. Words had been exchanged, tempers flared, and accusations still lingered. On that Saturday morning, October 4th, Rayon spent time with her cousins, laughing, cooking, and making breakfast. She told them to save her plate so she wouldn't be late for her hair appointment. She told them she loved them like she always did before heading out. That hair appointment was at Bones Barbershop on East Carson Street, and Mayera was already there. According to surveillance footage and witness statements, Mayera was seated in a barber's chair with a cape covering her. Her arms weren't visible. The barber and another employee were nearby. When Rayon, wearing a gold-colored tracksuit, entered the shop, the energy shifted. Words were exchanged again. The past came rushing back. Witnesses said Rayon told Mayera to step outside and settle the argument once and for all. She was standing above her, frustrated, ready for a confrontation, insisting that the situation finally be addressed. Mayera later told investigators that Rayon said she was going to strike her and mess her hair up. She also said Rayon lifted the bottom of her shirt as she stepped forward, but importantly, she admitted she didn't see anything in Rayon's hands that suggested a serious threat. A 19-year-old employee tried to intervene, but couldn't. What happened next unfolded in less than a minute. As Rayon stepped closer, emotions surged. 2 years of resentment came to a head, and Mayera reacted. She released several shots from beneath the cape. Rayon staggered, ran toward the back of the shop, and collapsed. Chaos erupted. People screamed. Mayera stood up, the cape still around her neck, brandished the weapon, and walked out of the shop. She drove home. Once home, Mayera called her mother, then her girlfriend, then she called 911. She told them she wanted to turn herself in. When police searched her vehicle, they found her registered firearm. She agreed to speak with detectives and told them what happened, including the most haunting detail of all. When asked if she felt she needed to fire, she replied, "No, I didn't have to." That single sentence would become one of the most damaging pieces of evidence in her case. Rayon was transported to UPMC Mercy, where she later passed away. Her family was devastated. Her mother said she had already lost several brothers to violence. She never imagined losing her daughter too. She described Rayon as the glue, someone who brought joy, unity, and love wherever she went. Her cousin said she was the one person who could walk into a room and make everyone come together, even when tensions were high. Her grandmother, who had lost all 3 of her sons to the same type of violence, said she feared the cycle was now beginning for the women in their family. This loss fractured a family that had already endured more pain than most people could imagine. After turning herself in, Mayera was charged with criminal homicide and denied bail. The prosecution presented surveillance footage, forensic evidence, witness statements, and Mayera's own words, the statement that she didn't have to fire. The prosecution argued that Rayon was unarmed, the force used was unnecessary, Mayera brought a weapon concealed under the cape, that the years-long dispute did not justify her reaction. The defense claimed self-defense. He argued that Rayon stepped toward Mayera aggressively. The women had a hostile history. Mayera was seated and felt overpowered, and that she feared she would be seriously harmed. But the judge decided there was enough evidence for a trial. The case was formally moved forward, with arraignment scheduled for December 2025. Mayera Carter is innocent until proven guilty. May Rayon Williams rest in peace. My deepest condolences to her family. I send my well wishes during this difficult time. This story is a heartbreaking example of how long-standing resentment, jealousy, and emotional wounds can spiral into irreversible tragedy. 2 years of conflict, 2 years of hurt, 2 years of unresolved issues, and one moment that changed everything. When emotions run high, logic disappears. When ego takes the wheel, consequences become invisible. When people let conflict sit and simmer, it doesn't fade, it grows. This situation didn't have to end this way. Both women had bright futures, talents, families who loved them, and goals they were working toward. But unresolved anger and pride turned into something neither one of them could take back. No argument over a partner is worth a life. No dispute is worth losing your freedom. No moment of pride is worth destroying two families. If a situation feels toxic, if a conflict keeps escalating, if emotions overpower your ability to think clearly, walk away. It's not worth it. Protect your peace, protect your future, and protect your life. Because in one split second, a decision made out of fear, anger, or pride can erase everything you've worked hard for, everything you love. This story is a reminder that emotional intelligence is not optional. It's essential. Your reactions can save you or cost you everything. Fam, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you believe it was self-defense? Or did Mayera have intent to do what she did? What could have been done to prevent this from happening? Let me know in the comments below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, consider liking and sharing. Subscribe for more stories like this and for the stories behind the headlines, because behind them all are lives forever changed. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times. Until next time.